Greetings, good people. Greetings, okay, and welcome. All right. If you're new here, thanks for clicking on the video. I want to talk about Trina Braxton. If you've been watching the Braxtons season 2, then you pretty much know what's going on. All right. There are 2 episodes in. If you haven't checked out my reviews, be sure to check them out on the channel to familiarize yourself or catch up. So I just want to know, right, a couple of things. Why is Trina being one blamed for Ashlee's trauma that she stated that she endured from Gabe, allegedly? She never said his name. I understand, people, that there have been posts made and Ashlee has liked certain things. She never came out and said the man's name, so I'm going to continue to say allegedly. So why is Trina being blamed? That's number one, for Ashlee's the incident that transpired between her and Gabe, where it was alleged that he was texting her inappropriately. And two, why is Trina being held accountable for Ashlee's healing from said alleged trauma? There's a lot of conversation happening online, which I love. I love when people have, opposing views and points of views, respectfully, of course. I like to, read, sometimes engage. I see a lot of people saying that Trina's not a victim, and I did a video asking if Trina is a victim, and I shared my thoughts on that. A lot of people are saying Trina is taking up for Gabe, and she's defending Gabe. Folks are also saying that Trina should have been there for her niece. She chose a man over her niece. There's a whole lot of Trina, okay? So the story goes that there were inappropriate text messages that were happening between Gabe, allegedly, and a then 16-year-old Ashlee Braxton. Now, Ashlee Braxton is the daughter of Michael Braxton Jr., okay, which is the Braxton sisters. That's their brother. Now, it was said that after Ashlee Braxton spent the summer with Trina, when she was married to Gabe, she returned home and her stepmother went through her phone and discovered that there was communication between Gabe and Ashlee, and it was inappropriate, right? Um, and what happened after that? Obviously, Trina was alerted somehow. What I would like to know is I would like for Trina to actually tell her story. How did she come to find this out? What was said? What was discussed? What happened? The reason why I have Michael Braxton Jr. in the thumbnail is because where's the smoke from Michael Braxton? Okay, I already shared how I felt about Gabe. I still feel that Gabe is responsible for this inappropriate communication. Wholeheartedly, hands down. Trina didn't do this. Trina didn't encourage him to do this, as far as we know. Trina didn't set this up. Trina wasn't pimping out her niece, as far as we know. So why is Trina getting the heat? I don't care that Gabe is not here anymore. It doesn't negate the fact that he was engaging in an inappropriate conversation with not only his niece-in-law, but a 16-year-old. So Gabe, all the smoke goes toward Gabe, not Trina. I know that people felt that Trina should have left Gabe and never gotten back with him, and I agree with that. But here's my question. If Trina would have left Gabe and would have stayed gone and never remarried him, would that have changed the fact that Gabe was inappropriate as hell? No. Does it look absolutely positively bad that Trina did get back with Gabe afterwards? Yes, it does. It looks bad. But it doesn't mean that Trina is to blame for Gabe's inappropriate actions. All the smoke should be on Gabe. Secondly, Michael Braxton. Where is the smoke for Michael Braxton? Why is, like, what happened? Did he confront Gabe? Did they enter into a round of fisticuffs? Did he knock his tooth loose? Why not? If he didn't, I just don't see a lot of people having any smoke for Michael Braxton. He is Ashlee's father, supposed to be her protector. But then again, Ashlee alleged that he was abusive to her. So maybe that's why he didn't do anything. We don't know what was done. Again, I would like to know, how did Trina come to find out? I know she went through his phone. Was that before or after the Ashlee situation? Like, what happened? If the stepmother allegedly discovered these inappropriate text messages, who called Trina and let her know? Again, what actions did Michael Braxton take? Did he obviously he didn't call the authorities to have charges pressed against Gabe? Why isn't Michael Braxton Jr. being ridiculed and heavily criticized for not taking legal action? I wouldn't care if Trina was my sister and Trina said, no, don't let it get ugly. Or if Evelyn Braxton said, no, don't get the cops involved. As a parent, your responsibility is to protect your child. But again, Ashlee did claim that her father was being physically abusive to her, as well as her stepmother, her and her sister. Did he brush it off? What exactly happened? I see Trina getting a lot of smoke. And yeah, Trina saying certain things online, it's not going to be pleasing to the public. It's not going to look good. She's saying things like that other person is not here to defend himself. But again, it doesn't take away from the fact that Gabe allegedly was inappropriate with Ashlee. It's his fault. He should be ridiculed. He should be criticized, whether he's here or not. Now, as far as it being said that Trina should have been there for her niece, I just feel like Trina is not a mental health professional. What could she have done to help her niece with her trauma? Whenever somebody is wounded, right? Are you going to go to your next door neighbor who has no medical experience whatsoever to help you with your wound? You might, but that probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. The smartest thing to do is go to a professional. Take yourself to the emergency room where there are medical professionals who are trained to treat and help you with your wounds. Trina herself was wounded. Trina is not, she's not now, and I don't think she ever was in a position to help anyone with their trauma. That girl was swimming in trauma and dysfunction, and I think she still is. Now, again, like I said before, if I were in her shoes, would I have left Gabe? Yes, without a doubt. For a number of reasons, not just because of the situation with my niece, but especially because of the situation with my niece. That's crazy. Why she stayed with him, we don't know. She doesn't talk about the situation. And I would like to hear Trina's story. She doesn't have to come to the public and tell anybody anything. But again, like I said, Trina is not in a position to help Ashlee with her trauma. What could she have walked her through? What could she have helped her with? She can't. She's a wounded person herself. And not just because of Gabe, because of everything that family had to endure. And I wholeheartedly believe that there was a whole bunch of issues long before the Braxtons got on television. It's obvious. And everything is rising to the surface and playing out on TV, and has been for years. And I'm not giving Trina a pass, but again, she's taking the blame for something that she didn't do. And I know life ain't fair. And unfortunately, Trina, because of who she's associated with, yeah, you gonna take the heat. But however, let's not take the focus off of the perpetrator, Gabe. Also, where the hell was Ashlee's father? The rumor is that her mother, for whatever reason, got up out of Dodge, removed her name from the birth certificate, and just faded off into the oblivion. Why? What did the stepmother do? No one thought, hey, let's call the authorities. That's the best way that her parents could have basically fought for her, letting her know that I'm not going to let anybody do this to you. But again, if they were dysfunctional and they were being abusive to Ashlee, then they probably didn't care. They should be blamed, especially the father. The heat should be on Ashlee's father more so than Trina, in my opinion. And I respect everybody's opinion. I respect differences of opinion as long as they're respectful. But I'm just sitting back and I'm just watching and I'm paying attention to, like I said, things on social media, people's points of views, you know. But I don't see anybody saying nothing about Michael, her father. Her father has a gag order in place so that Ashlee can't talk about the abuse that she says that she endured at the hands of her father and her stepmother. What kind of sick ish is that? That's crazy to me. And how on earth did a judge approve that? This is according to Ashlee. I don't know if it's true. I've not seen any court documents, so I'm just going off of what Ashlee stated. There's a gag order in place. Tamar stated in the episode, we see flashes of when they get into that big blow up at the table at dinner where she received the cease and desist letter because Ashlee was going on her podcast to talk about the abuse that she endured, which I'm pretty sure probably includes the abuse that she states that she received at the hands of her biological father and her stepmother. Ashlee even got so transparent, and she stated on her YouTube channel that she endured a lot of, abuse, and she became a perpetrator and inflicting pain on her sister. She admits that. And she stated that her sister, Lauren, did not pass away from a heart condition. I remember when it was reported that she passed away from a heart condition. According to Ashlee, her sister passed away because she was on substances. She was abusing substances. And she feels it because of all of the pain that she was carrying around. What the hell went on in that house with that father, with these two girls? And again, why didn't the father step in and intervene? Or did he? And we just don't know. If Trina is going to get all this smoke, then Michael Braxton Jr. deserves the smoke times 20. It's his daughter. He should have been protecting his child. And once he found out that this situation was transpiring between his daughter and a grown man, his brother-in-law, I feel like action should have been taken. And granted, he ain't on social media, and that's fine. Hell, what did Evelyn Braxton do? What does she have to say? What did Michael Braxton Sr. have to say? They are the heads of the family. Why wasn't Gabe in jail? Why nobody was pushing for him to go to jail? When did everybody find out? Because a lot of people in the family are claiming that they didn't know, but y'all filmed with him. So when y'all filmed with him on Braxton Family Values, y'all didn't know what was going on? If she found out, if the stepmother allegedly found the text messages when Ashlee was 16, Ashlee was on the show after that, long after she was 16. So did Trina know and she was keeping it a secret? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot with this family. And granted, like I said before, they don't have to disclose anything to us, okay? But a lot of things are coming to the surface because they are public figures. And they're putting this stuff on display on their show. I just feel like if smoke is gonna be there for Trina, quadruple the smoke should be there for Ashlee's father. Because I don't get that. Gabe's behind would have still been sitting in jail. And I would have pressed all the charges. I would have stomped the charges. Forget press. And I wouldn't give a damn what anybody in the family had to say. That's how you show your child or your loved one that you're willing to fight for them. Dad. Where was Dad in all this? And because, I don't know, just everything seems so out of sorts as it pertains to who knew what, what really happened. You know, it's being said that, according to Ashlee, she says that her aunt stopped talking to her because she thought that she was messing around with her husband. Then in the episode 1 of season 2, Trina said that her number hasn't changed, but Ashlee's changed because she moved away. I really wish that Trina would tell her story from beginning to end as it pertains to this situation. And I really wish that Ashlee didn't have a gag order placed against her by her own father so that she can freely tell her story. But then again, maybe it's for the better. Because to be honest with you, social media is not going to help with anything. I know that Ashlee said that she has been in therapy extensively, which is great. But all of these sisters, they just seemed all troubled. And they seemed like they had a not so harmonious upbringing. And as far as the mother and the father, Evelyn and Michael Sr., they seem like they swept a lot of stuff under the rug and remained hush-hush about a lot of things. So they are to blame for a lot as well. They are to blame for a lot as well. So if Trina, like I said, Trina's getting this smoke, Michael Braxton Jr. should get way more smoke than Trina. This is your child who you're responsible for. What was done? Unless I'm missing something. What was done? What did you, as the father, as her parent, what did you do? Gabe wasn't in jail, so not much was done, if you ask me. I don't know, y'all. Let me know. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Let me know if you're watching the Braxtons. You know, it's just heavy. They all can't stand each other, and I don't think they can fake it anymore. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. I'll continue to just, pay attention to what folks are saying, the thoughts and opinions of folks on social media, because it's an interesting perspective. And I don't disagree with a lot of the takes, but I just don't really see a lot of Ashlee's father. Where's his smoke at? He deserves all the smoke. He's one of many who deserves all the smoke. It takes a village to raise a child. And the village doesn't seem like they did much of anything. The village contributed to further traumatizing this girl. No wonder why she went to Spain or wherever she went and got away from everybody. Well, y'all, drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. I know a large majority of you don't think that Trina is a victim. I disagree. I do think that she definitely was victimized. I'm not saying that she was a victim in the same way that Ashlee was. It's not a matter of comparison, but she indeed was someone wounded. She entered that marriage wounded. Her wounds were furthered, remaining in that marriage. And then when this situation happened, what was she supposed to do? What was she supposed to do? Trina can't even help herself, let alone help anybody else. And as far as turning her back on her niece, that's not, Trina said she didn't do that. And we don't know who's telling the truth and who's telling the lie. All I know is Michael Braxton Jr., deserves all the smoke if Trina is going to get the smoke for this situation. But drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. I'll be back soon, so make sure you subscribe. If you are new here, you want to join the conversation when we talk about matters like these, the Braxtons, reality TV reviews, pop culture, all that good stuff. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you click the notification bell and select all so you don't miss an upload. I love you for watching, and I will talk to you later.